Welcome to my channel Vinyl Beauty. I'm Debbie, and if you've not been here before, this channel's all about expressing yourself and getting creative with makeup, whatever age that you are. So a bit about me, I'm a huge hoarder of eyeshadow palettes and I've got over 200 in my collection. And over the last year or so, I've started to tone that down and stop buying so many because I've got so many amazing things in my collection. And I think I've been kind of inspired to buy so many by watching YouTube, but then they're just all sitting there in the drawer. So I was like, I need to stop buying so many and I need to actually use them. So if that's you and you've got a big collection, or perhaps you're on a no buy or a low buy, but you still want to get some use out of the palettes that you have and have some fun with makeup, then this might be the channel for you. So if this sounds like something that you would enjoy, then please hit the subscribe button and let's move into today's video. Okay, so today's video then is going to be a palettes of the past. If you've been here before, you'll know what that is, but it's where I talk about an iconic palette from makeup recent history. I mean, I feel like if it's only from 2 weeks ago, it's an old palette in the makeup world, but these are a little bit more older palettes and we're going to talk about them. I'm going to show you the palette and then I'm going to create an eye look. But this one is a little bit different because I'm talking about a series of palettes from Juvia's Place, and that's their £9 palettes. And I own 7 of their £9 palettes. Here they are. So I'm going to show you those, and then, as I say, we'll move on to creating an eye look with one of them, which is the eye look I'm wearing right now. And yeah, just delve back into a little bit of makeup history with the £9 palettes from Juvia's Place. So I'm going to attempt to show you them in the order in which I got them, and probably the order in which they came out, I think. So the first £9 palette from Juvia's I ever bought was the Zulu, which is a rainbow palette and got some beautiful colours in here. You've got a good mix of mattes and shimmers, which is one of the things that I always love about the Juvia's Place £9. You've got both in there, and there's always some really cool colours. There's always an odd colour, like there's a brown here which kind of doesn't go with the rest of the theme. I guess you can make a neutral look using that, but you know, when I got this one I thought I could have lived without that brown because it's a rainbow palette. But it's a great rainbow palette with some really, really beautiful shades in there. And when I used this, I don't even think I was on YouTube, but I made a kind of multiple coloured crease going all the way around my eye and round, and I can't remember what shimmer I put on the lids. I think it was both of those two shimmers, and don't know if I've used it since then actually, so that's a crime, and I need to bust this one out again soon. But this isn't the one we're going to be using today. Next one I've got is the Saharan 2, one of my favourites for the packaging. I love purple and I just think the imagery on the front of that one's gorgeous. This one's one of those that is quite a surprise. So this colour is just beyond stunning. It's like a burgundy raspberry kind of colour. When you look at it here in the pan, it just doesn't do it justice. You think it's in a row of neutrals there, and it really isn't. It's a pinky burgundy shade and it's gorgeous. The shimmers are all beautiful. There's a gorgeous duochrome in here. Yeah, this is an absolutely stunning palette and one of my favourites from them. Again, we're not using that though. Then we've got a real oddball of a palette from them. You either love or hate, I think. People seem to struggle to know what to do with this one. I love it. It's discontinued now, and I think some of these ones I've been showing you maybe are as well. This is the Douce or Douce by Juvia's. They're all by Juvia's. I need to stop saying by Juvia's. But it's kind of a macaroons kind of theme palette. That's how I think of this one. Love the layout of this one. You've got the mattes in the corners and the middle, and then the shimmers around it. Some really unusual shades in here. That one's absolutely gorgeous as blush. There's a beautiful duochrome kind of white to pink in there. Yeah, it's a really cool palette, but it's just got some really unusual shades to be together. So I think it's quite challenging for people to know what to do with this palette. If you want to see me create some looks with this one, please let me know, because I'd love to work with this one again. So yeah, let me know if there's any interest in that. Next up, I've got probably most people's favourite, which got discontinued and then came back for a while. I'm not sure if it's available now or not, but that's the Tribe by Juvia's, their green palette. This one is beautiful. It's going to reflect badly because it's got that reflective background to it. Again, you've got some gorgeous duochromes in here, you've got some sort of murky kind of greens, you've got deepening up shades, you've got oranges. You can do so much with this palette, and yeah, I love this one so much, particularly for autumnal kind of fall inspired looks. Next up we've got the Festival by Juvia'a, which is this one here. And this one I was inspired to buy after watching Aniela Knietvis do a 3 looks 1 palette. If I can find her video for that, I'll link it for you, because it was just an amazing 3 looks that she did. I mean, she always does amazing looks, but I loved a particular look that she did, which was a cut crease using the red and the white in the palette, and that's why I wanted it. You guys will know if you've been here before how much I love my red eyeshadow looks. So, and also I hadn't really seen too many people doing smoky eyes with black and then with colour in the crease, and she does that, I believe, in the video. It's been a long time since I've seen the video, but yeah, that's what inspired me to buy this one. And this is the one that I've used today to create this look. So it's criminally underused in my collection, really, because as I say, it's got some of the best orangey reds. You've got an orangey red and you've got a red, which is nice to have together. This creates a really beautiful sunset gradient, and yeah, it's unusual to have a black to sort of grey, it's kind of black grey shimmer in a palette. There's not enough of those around. I really love that kind of shade. Beautiful duochrome kind of white there. As I say, it's got some really nice shades, and you'll see this one in action in the video. Next up is probably my least used, and I just don't know why. I think it's because there's just not so many shimmers in it. So you're kind of limited to doing matte looks, but with a blue shimmer. And it's the Warrior 3 by Juvia'a. There's only 2 shimmers in this palette. You've just got these 2 here, so a grey shimmer and a blue shimmer, and then you've pretty much got a lot of the same shades that were in the Zulu palette. So if I was going to reach for a rainbow palette from them, I think I'd probably go more so with the Zulu, but it is an excellent companion palette to the Zulu palette. Let's hold them side by side for you. You can see that they are pretty similar, but they do work together quite well. But as I say, not use that one quite so much. Just doesn't, I don't know, some palettes just don't kind of appeal to you and you don't grab for them as much, and that one is the case with that Warrior 3. And then the last of the 9 pans I've got, they shrunk the size down. So this is the Nomad by Juvia'a. Kind of divided opinions. Some people didn't like this one. I love it. I think it's a beautiful colour story. It's more leaning on the neutral side, but the colours are all kind of off. You've got that sort of olivey khaki green in there, mustardy yellow, you've got some grey tones, some grungy sort of browns. It is neutral leaning, but it's interesting. And so yeah, really enjoy that one. Again, more in the autumn time. And then they kind of move from these 9 pans. That was the very last one to my knowledge that they've done. Apart from they do have the Warrior 1 and 2, which I don't own, which are the 2 neutral palettes. Can't remember the chronological order of when they came out, but would have been before the Warrior 3, so I think I'm right. There's been no 9 pans since. And they moved into the 6 pan monochromatic palettes. I do own some of those, but I was never really so much of a fan of the quality on those. And then they brought out the Wahala, which this pretty much stopped me buying eyeshadow from the brand at that point, because there was pressed glitter in there, which I'm not a fan of, and the pans became square and it just didn't look like the Juvia'a that I knew and love. I'm very kind of, I don't like change, I kind of get used to things, and so yeah, I wasn't too keen when that came out. I have seen that they're doing quads now. I am kind of interested in the quads, but I used to always buy my Juvia'a from Beauty Bay. They're not available there anymore, and to just buy 1 quad from the States, it just doesn't make financial sense with the shipping and customs. So probably won't be buying any more, to be honest. But like most people that have got a massive eyeshadow collection, I've got enough Juvia'a Place to be keeping me going for quite some time, and there'll probably be crossover in the shades if I was to buy any new anyway. So I think it's time that I showed you what I did with the Festival palette and inspire you to grab for it and do a look with it. So let's move into that, and then I'll show you how I created it and catch up with you at the end just to wrap up my thoughts on this palette of the past video. Okay, so we're going to prime today with the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. So I'm going to start with the mustard yellow, and I'm going to take that all the way from front to back through my crease, and I'm going to do something I don't do too often, and that's to do my lightest crease shade first. I don't know why, just thought it might be easy because I don't want the red to overtake the look. I'm just going to use that just to create a little bit of depth in the crease. I'm also going to take that yellow on my lower lash line as well. So we're going for a rounded shape so far with the eyeshadow. As I say, I want a bit of depth in that crease, so we're going in with the red and a Morphe E36 so I can keep quite tucked into that crease. I'm just going to build it up bit by bit until I've got the intensity I'm looking for. I want quite a peak of that red showing through once I put the shimmers on the lid. Then back to the original brush and the yellow shade and just blend the two. I think for my waterline I just want some black pencil there just to give us a bit of definition on the lower lash line. So I'm just going to put that on. It's using Black Core by LH Cosmetics. And then while that's still able to be moved around, I'm just going to smudge that out with the red. Okay, next we're going in with NYX Glitter Primer. Going to cut my lid and also kind of wing that out a little bit. Just using the tip of this brush just to help me wing out that glitter primer. And I'm going in with that Calico shade, the grey shimmer, and I'm going to make a wing with that. So I just loaded a angled brow brush with the product. I'm keeping my eye open here so that I can see kind of where my crease starts there, so I know where to pull that line out. Using a bit of product at a time, and then I can fill it in once I've kind of got the overall shape down. Okay, so I'm just going to repeat the same step on the other eye. Then I'm just filling in my outer V with that black shade and doing the same on both eyes. Somewhat similar. Next I'm going to go in with the blue, the Arbor shade, but I'm going to angle that down a bit because I want a bit of space for the Uli shade, the white one. So I'm placing that next to the black shade we have there already and then continuing on. It's a little bit tricky in the crease area there. I want to try and bring this down now. So from about the middle of my eye there, I'm angling down to the corner there. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. And repeat the same on the other eye. That blue is absolutely beautiful. Always avoided using the blue because I didn't know how to use it or what to do with it really. Just trying to get the symmetry the same on both eyes. I think it's working okay. And then using a pencil brush, I'm going to fill in the corner kind of angled area there with the Uli shade. So I'm packing that on a pencil brush, going to spray it. And that's going in that area there. And as I move across my lid, I'm just fading it into that blue. I think we've lost the red in the look. I'm going to re-intensify that red in a moment. In this little area here on my lower lash line, I'm going to use that shade, my inner corner, and It's fading onto my lower lash line, just a little extra bit of interest there. Okay, I'm not happy that I've lost the red in the crease. I'm just going to intensify that crease. I'm just going to use a really thin liner brush just to bring a bit of that red back in. So I'm just going to trace with the red above that white, just to get that to peek back through again. A little bit of cheating, but that's okay. Just a bit more of that oro shade just to blend out where I've put that red. That's better, we've got the red showing back in the look again. Just didn't take that quite high enough. Now I know where that black wing's extending to. I'm just going to take the oro shade, the yellow, just out just that little bit further now. It's a very light pressure so that we don't blend that black, because we don't want that coming up into the upper part of the eye there. Okay, so that's the eye look right now. We're just going to add the finishing touches. I'll be back with you with the finished look and to wrap up the video. Okay, so this is the finished look, of course. Finished it off with a lip tonic from Kaleidos. This is in the shade Ambition. Just wanted an orange kind of base red to really pull out that orangey red crease that we've got going on. And yeah, I really love how it turned out. Had a lot of issues using that black shade as liner. So learning curve for me, don't do it over glitter primer, that wasn't easy. I sprayed my brush with Fix Plus, it was a lot more simple, but between sort of starting to do the look and the end, I did have to take off my foundation on my cheeks and reapply it. So I didn't show that on camera, but just to be completely transparent, I had a rain of black fallout down my cheeks. So yeah, definitely use Fix Plus for that. But I've shown you as well in this video how you can kind of correct things if things go wrong. What I did with the crease work there, I think that really worked as well. But the palette was a lot of fun to work with. I love the colour story of this one. It is one of my favourite 9 pans from Juvia'a, but I really love the 9 pans. I think they were the sweet spot for me from the brand and from any brand really. I just really enjoy working with 9 colours. I think you've got enough that you've got scope to create lots of different looks without being overwhelmed with like 30 shades that you just don't know what to do with. And I can see more colour combinations in say a 9 to 12 kind of pan palette than I can in much larger ones. Now Juvia'a sort of went off my radar a bit when they brought out the Juvia'a palette because it had pressed glitters, the pans were square, it just was different to what I was used to from the brand, and I was like, it was the first one that I was like, I don't even think I really want this, and I'd wanted everything from them prior to that point. Also, I wasn't amazed with the quality of the 6 pan palettes that I own, so I kind of went off the brand a bit, but as I say, these 9 pans are some of the best that I own in my collection, I think, and I do come back to them time and time again. And the reason for that is there's some really unique shades and the shimmers are just beautiful in these. And I think shimmers is what Juvia'a does best. I am a little bit tempted to try the quads because there's a beautiful green one. So I might do that. It's such a shame actually that Beauty Bay dropped the brand, because if they hadn't have done that, probably would have gone for one of those, but it's not worth just ordering one of them really from the States and with the shipping and whatever, so probably won't try those. But I've got lots of Juvia'a eyeshadows to dip into, and this is what these palettes of the past videos are all about, is showing you things that you've probably forgotten that you've got in your collection that still work fine, that are amazing quality eyeshadows, and just inspiring you to do something with them and create some looks and just have a bit of a makeup playtime. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe before you go. But other than that guys, hope you're having a lovely day or night wherever you are, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye guys.